Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. I am sat here in the dark. Not no particular reason other than the sun came out and I was a bit silhouetted on my video. And if I have the lights off, the curtains drawn, you can't see so easily the box of Christmas food which I've got sat behind me, which I'm hoping not to dig into all at once. So I'm trying to stretch that one out a little bit. Um, I'm here to talk about setting goals. And the reason I'm doing a video on it, I posted something on LinkedIn last week and I did an email to my mailing list. And I was shocked by the number of out of office replies I got from that email of people who were on holiday until the 10th. So I thought I'd pop a little video about it again because it's a really important topic. It's easy to just start the new year and think, yeah, just going to do more of what I did before, but do it a little bit better. But actually, if we set proper goals and publicize them, it really increases our chances of achieving what we need to. And what better time than to do it in a new year? My New Year's resolutions always start from the 7th of January. I'm not particularly a procrastinator, but being a bit of an international family, we always eat a galette des rois on the 6th of January, which, if you don't know what it is, it's a French tart filled with eggs and almond paste and loads of butter, all surrounded with puff pastry. And seeing as my New Year's resolutions tend to include something about fitness and healthy eating, starting them before the 6th of January would be setting myself up for failure at the beginning. So I started my 2022 goals on Friday, 7th of January. And after a record breaking 2021 at Novanta and Novanta Knowledge Bites, I'm really excited to get started. What I'd like to share with you today, though, is the key to setting goals, which you will still have on your radar in a month's time. Not those goals that sort of drop like having a dry January. And to make these goals sustainable, we need to make sure that they have three characteristics. They need to be achievable, they need to be flexible, and they need to genuinely motivate you. They need to be achievable, flexible, genuinely motivate you. And I'd like to dig into each of these areas in a little bit more detail for you. Let's talk about achievable, first of all. And we know what that means. There's no point setting a goal that you'll never realistically hit, because although a stretch target seems like a good idea on paper, if your arm isn't long enough to reach it, then you can give up pretty quickly. But goals should be challenging enough to motivate you. If it's too easy, it's not going to have a good effect either. And you might be thinking, well, I've got this huge big thing I need to achieve this year. And yes, it is a bit unachievable, but if I don't achieve it, then I'm going to have some problems. Well, that's fine. But a huge big thing isn't motivational if it's too big. Instead, try breaking down your goal into smaller steps with strict deadlines on them. If you've got a goal to hit by like the end of the year, there's my goals going off in my calendar. Don't know if you heard that. If you've got a goal to hit by the end of the year, what do you need to have done by the 31st of January? By 28th of February, by the 31st of March, and so on. What do you need to have completed before the summer slump when people go on holiday in order to be on track to achieve that big thing by the end of the year or whatever your deadline is? If you approach your big goals like this, they'll be a lot more achievable. If you miss your 31st of January milestone, it's not going to be an insurmountable job to catch up in February. But if you don't realise you're off track until October, then it can be hard to recover. What was my second one? Goals need to be flexible. Question for you. Who had a goal in 2022 which COVID prevented them from achieving? What happened to your motivation when you realised that goal was out of reach? No one knows what's coming in 2022. So to ensure that your goal can flex and still bring you value if it needs to, you need to make sure you're building something flexible. The important thing here is not to make this an excuse for your own poor performance. If nothing external throws things off track, then you should be achieving your goals without excuses. But if we get to September and some horrible new COVID variant comes along to mess up your plans, you need to make sure that what you've done isn't wasted. Let me give you an example. Maybe you're doing lots of work to win some new sales leads at a face-to-face event that you've got planned for October. Make sure that if that face-to-face event gets cancelled, all that work and the content you've done can be used for something else. Social media, phone campaign, email campaign, that sort of thing. And number three, your goal needs to genuinely motivate you. And I mean genuinely motivate you, not it should motivate me on paper. As you set yourself your goal, or your goals for 2022, ask yourself why you're choosing those goals. Is it for reasons which genuinely engage your heart? Is it, I'm setting this goal because my boss told me to? Because if it is, that's not motivational. It's not even your goal. That's your boss's goal. It might be a little bit motivational if you want to avoid the wrath of your superior, but it's not something that's going to ignite your passion, is it? As you're setting your goals, think about what it's going to bring, which should be two things. There should be a business benefit to your goal, but also a personal benefit, something which will bring you satisfaction from its achievement beyond just a business KPI. Final thoughts on this, do make your goals sustainable. By that, I mean that you need to be aware of the progress you're making towards them so that you can take corrective action if it goes off track. Most of us will be aware of SMART, specific, measurable, and so on. But there's no point creating a measurable goal if you don't then actually measure your progress towards that goal's completion. Diarise time in your diary to make sure that you're tracking your progress towards your goals and take steps to keep things on target. And don't forget, goals can be much more achievable if you write them down and share them with other people. So here are a few of my goals for the coming year. Number one, to filter my opportunities and ensure I'm only working on the projects which truly inspire me. Last year, I had some great inspirational projects, but I had a few dull ones too. So I will be more motivated this year if I'm working on things that truly engage me. My second goal, I want to develop a network of experts in related fields and expand the scope of solutions that I can offer to my clients, all within the realm of sales and customer focus. And goal three, to set aside time at least 2 days a week to proactively work on my business and on finding opportunities with organizations who will most benefit from my expertise. And goal four, I'm going to share with you, which is always my weakness, block time in my schedule at the beginning of each month to look after myself more. Diarise time for exercise, downtime, and so on. So there you go. I promised you 3 tips. What have I given you? I've given you those 3 things. Your goals need to be achievable, they need to be flexible, they need to genuinely motivate you. We then talked about making goals more sustainable and being accountable to others. So I guess that's 5 tips, isn't it? So let me add one more goal for 2022, which is to learn to count. Other than that, Happy New Year. All the best as you achieve your goals. And if you think there is anything I can help with towards that, do get in touch. Bye-bye.